Hey, everybody, Pittsburgh Improv this weekend. Tickets just went on sale for San Francisco, Sacramento, Philadelphia, Calgary, Portland, Seattle. I'm going everywhere. San Diego, ianfinance.com. I'll see you there. Get tickets now. JordanJensenComedy.com too for her dates. I don't know them, and she probably doesn't either. Bye-bye.
Telling jokes and having smokes, riding bikes all through the night. It's a wild ride when you're being Ian. Coffee ice no matter what. Now you know he likes it in the butt. It's a wild ride when you're being Ian, being Ian. And life is shit but you're positive. Let's find out what it's like to live a life being Ian. Being Ian
with Jordan. Yes.
Nice. That was solid.
Yeah.
Thank you. A lot of practice.
Welcome back to another episode of Bein Ian with Jordan.
Put your feet down.
Sorry,
That is rough.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
Like a double Charlie horse.
Yeah, because we have a wonderful, fantastic guest today. The one, the only, Civ Beetlejuice.
Yes.
Yes.
Civ juice.
Civ the
Civ
most.
juice.
But for Halloween, I was pretty solid Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
Really
We were
good.
just discussing.
That was great. Yeah.
And she was Lydia in the red, which is what I always wanted to
In the
be.
red.
Yeah, that's the best.
Yeah.
Does she have black hair?
She had naturally black hair. That's all real hair.
That's great.
There was one of my black socks was under her hair to hold it up.
Oh,
Amazing.
nice.
Wrapped up.
Amazing.
Yeah, we went, and I didn't get a ruffle shirt like he's supposed to have, so I bought a pirate costume that had like the half frillies. But I
Yes.
didn't realize it was short, so then I taped 2 paper towels to my chest under the frills so the white would transition
Nice.
down. Yeah, like MacGyver.
It's
Yeah.
MacGyver, and it's fine because it's Halloween, so you're in the dark strobing lights, and it looked incredible.
No one questioned it, and if there was ever an accident of food or drink, I was.
Yeah.
It's good.
Well, we did an episode. She was Beetlejuice. I was Elvis. And we had a guest, this great comic, Kyle Dunnigan, and he did not dress up as anything. And halfway
His
through,
whole comedy, though, is dressing up, and our whole comedy is being dogmatically ourselves. So it was so
yeah.
bizarre that he was just normal guy in like Patagonia.
Yeah. And then
we
we
were-
were having like this deep discussion about philosophy and free will. And I was going in and out of Elvis. So he's like, free will doesn't exist and it's your subconscious. I'm like, you're kind of confusing me, brother. Oh.
Him and I opened this podcast we did recently with Sam Morril and Mark, and
Yes.
I opened it. I just like fast forward through just to see what it looked like, and as soon as I opened it, it's you walking in as Austin Powers and me on the couch going, no, he doesn't. Ian in an outfit
Was that
is
unannounced,
insufferable.
Well, we also did
Yes.
another Halloween
'cause
podcast.
the
She
voice comes
was
with the outfit.
Quail Man and I was Austin Powers.
Mm.
But my thing was I went back in time. I got lost in the time machine to
You didn't have a
escape
thing.
a series of Me Too's because the 60s were crazy, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Nope, we're not going into it now because
Yeah,
Halloween's
baby.
over. Thank fuck.
And I thought that Austin Powers danced like this. Didn't he do that?
No, at one scene, maybe when he's dancing, but Ian started walking around like for hours, shaking like that, and it was driving me insane.
She hated it.
And then finally, the day is over of him being Austin Powers. We go do this podcast, and I'm like, I don't know what Ian's going to be dressed up as. Maybe he'll just be Ian, God forbid. And then he walks in doing that dance, and I just was like, I will leave right now.
I like that you get right into it. See, I'm the other way where I'm dressed like a complete idiot,
Yeah.
but I forget that I'm dressed.
Me too,
So I'm
yeah.
just talking.
Oh,
I
yeah.
had a one Halloween, I think, God, probably 18 years ago. I might have been the black and white striped Beetlejuice, and that's why I still had the wig.
Mm.
And I got into a road rage incident, dressed as Beetlejuice,
Yes.
screaming out
That
the
rules.
window.
Mm.
And the dude, I won because the guy just was like,
Well, I walked into the coffee shop dressed as Beetlejuice, and nobody bat an eye. And it was before
Yeah.
Halloween because we were
It was
recording
like a
the
week before Halloween.
And Brooklyn is so like, we
Fine.
just dress
Yeah.
as we are, who we are as a people.
Years
Then
ago-
I walked in and they were like,
Years
yeah.
ago, I was Tigger for Halloween, and
is
I got in a
racist.
fight with a cab driver, and he like cut me off, and I smacked the back of the cab. He got out, and we got in a screaming match, and he shoved me, and I shoved him back, but I had a button in my paw that when you press it, it goes, woo-hoo-hoo! yeah. Woo-hoo-hoo! So I push her, I go, yo, fuck you, and it goes, woo-hoo-hoo!
Fight's
And we
over.
both started
That's
laughing,
awesome.
yeah, and it was like, have a good night, and I hit it again, I was like, I'm Tigger, I was like, goodbye, and I hopped away.
See, maybe we should
Wow.
invest in happy buttons for
Yeah.
like when things get
Yeah.
too heated.
Be
Mhm.
furries.
We should all dress in costumes.
I should have been Winnie the Pooh, and you should have been, because I am Winnie the Pooh.
Next
I eat,
year.
I eat pretty much exclusively honey, and I'm always sleepy.
And you always wear a shirt and no pants.
Yes, I often
Yeah.
wear a shirt, no pants.
That's also Porky Pig. You could Porky Pig.
Oh, I
is
could Porky. Yeah, but he
But yeah,
seems
but he-
more upbeat. Winnie the Pooh,
Yeah,
really.
Pooh is pretty chill.
Yeah, he's very chill. Why did they make such a oddly depressive?
Well, the
and then they
honey-
throw in Eeyore.
The honey had Xanax in it. That's
Yeah.
why.
Well, they had to throw
It's
Eeyore in so
fentanyl.
Pooh wouldn't seem so depressed.
Right?
Yeah.
He
But
just
whoever
seemed
made
like
that
relaxed
certainly
and
hung
introspective.
himself.
hmm
Yeah, and there's a lot of things. Ritalin, Tigger was a little bit hyped up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Things.
Tigger was on meth. Yeah.
Totally.
hmm
We need more depressed characters like that.
What? No.
Now you watch movies and it's like, a little girl who's on an adventure. I want like a bummed out. I like Winnie the Pooh, where he literally was just
The '90s had a lot of bummed out acting
Yeah.
characters, right? You
think
wanna
about like
bring that back?
Daria, even. That was a depressed character.
Daria was definitely a lot. Yeah, Daria's hard to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Totally.
it was rough.
Now I don't think we have
I got to be honest,
SpongeBob
though,
changed everything.
wearing a costume and being that guy feels so good.
being
Like,
Elvis.
I was Elvis, and I did my sets last night or 2 nights ago as Elvis, and I would not stop being Elvis. So in a bomb, I was like, well, I got to be honest, I really am stuck in the middle of who I am right now, mama.
Yeah.
And it was the
You-
best.
Did people hate it?
No, they loved it.
Really?
And then I was out in front of the cellar and I was playing Elvis songs and I was just dancing and all these people were like, we love you, Elvis. And they were like really enjoying it. I was like, this is,
Buddy, you became a Times Square Spider-Man.
oh yeah. I was thinking about
fucked
moving to
up.
Vegas. I was like, I could start a new life like this. I was riding my bike around playing Elvis going, oh, and
But
some people
you're
said,
the-
no.
You're in the right neighborhood for it. Like you said, you're just identifying as Elvis
Yeah.
and you're good.
Just
Yeah.
sometimes you can put yourself in these scenarios that are so. If I woke up in the middle of the night and just remembered what had happened, I would have been like, I have to kill myself today. I'm proud of you for it. I'm proud of you for it. I'm proud of you for it.
Yeah, I enjoy the freedom of mind that you have.
It's
that you're
really
just
nice.
Staying in the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, you on stage with Dave Attell doing Elvis. Like when I am with Dave Attell, I am trying to be the coolest person I can possibly be. Usually I'm just like hiding my face because I'm laughing so hard. But the idea of being Elvis in front of Dave Attell is so crippling
Yeah.
to me
It
that
was the best.
I could see him being fine with it, right?
He was
He's the
loving it.
best.
We were
He's the
loving it. He got into it too. He's like, Elvis, how do you eat pussy? And I was like, oh, I'll tell you, brother, I eat it like a hound dog. And their pussy gets so wet, it looks like they're crying all the time. It was
He
great.
rules.
I loved it.
That's good. And a nice setup, man, is good.
Yeah. Yeah, it was fantastic.
That's good.
It was awesome. I am so happy you're here, man. You
Thank
are the fucking best. Absolute legend.
Oh.
Changed millions of lives. You have a new book that I love.
Thank you.
Yes, A Roadie's Tale. It's such a fun read, Jordan.
What?
I brought a copy. So
Did you
yeah,
really?
we can
Oh,
make it
great.
for you.
Yeah, it's
What
great.
can you tell me what it's about?
It's it basically I'm actually the foremost expert on the book.
Oh,
I can tell you all
really?
about it. The
I underlined things he said that I
in
like.
1987 when I was just out of high school. Youth of Today, one of my favorite, probably my favorite band at the time, and legendary band to me already, asked me to go on tour as a roadie because Walter, who was in my band, Gorilla Biscuits, was they kind of picked him off the band tree to be the bass player.
Okay.
So that meant my kind of band summer was over to a degree. But I was just so happy that he was going and that we were like part of this thing. I didn't give a shit. And but when they asked me to go, I had never been out of New York. Like I don't think ever, maybe
How old were
Florida
you?
once. I was 18.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, I got asked to roadie and I said yes with zero credentials or ability. I don't even have a driver's
mic up
license.
there.
I didn't have a driver's license. So I was pretty
Oh.
useless as a roadie.
Really?
I was not.
Were you selling merch and shit?
Well, there was one shirt and it was
You guys
like
made it, right?
we just walk around with like, I would literally, we have a merch booth would be like me on a chair or somebody on a chair with them on your lap. Like if we sold like 5 shirts at a show, is huge. Maybe
really?
like 7 or 10 was our best night, like at like Fenders or something.
Mhm.
But it was mostly starving, working hard, getting in fights, getting disappointed. And but I kept a journal, which was very unlike me, but I think I had just read On the Road.
Totally.
So
That'll do
I
it.
was like, I should probably
Be the next great writer.
I should
Yeah.
be next Kerouac.
Yeah.
But I figured I'd at least just for a memory and just to like, put it down so I could look back on it. And I wasn't sure, if it was ever gonna come to fruition, but
How big was Youth of Today when you were roadie for them?
they were big in New York. I mean, hardcore was so small in like the 80s and it was just a scene.
Yeah.
Each, city that had a scene, and your job was to get from one scene to the other, survive that way and get enough gas money and food money to get there and hope that the show would happen. Which
It's like a
it
video
didn't.
game.
It's
You
like,
do what you can,
yes.
and then you get to the next level.
It's like
and then you,
Survivor and Frogger, like put
Yeah.
together.
Nobody's making any money.
No,
And
Okay.
you don't
not
have
for years.
GPS. You don't have phones. How the hell are you driving with just maps?
You have a giant like one of those AAA maps in
Yes,
the front.
I remember those.
And but I was like Walter and I were the youngest, so we thought these guys would have it like together.
Yeah.
And I brought I worked at a laundromat and I saved $200, and that was the most. We were going to be gone for 6 to 8 weeks. We weren't sure how long it was going to be, and I brought the most money with me. And
Oh my
everybody
God.
else was in their 20s, and they were just like, "Oh, I got $50 or I got $60." And I was just like, "The fuck's going on right
Wow.
now?" Yeah,
How did you guys eat?
we stole
Nice.
everything.
Yeah.
But we were all vegetarian at the time already, so we just go to health food stores and kind of talk about like the generosity in that scene. It's like those were mom and pop, like kind of hippie, more like style stores. You're allowed to call people hippies?
Yeah.
Okay.
This
so,
is America. Say whatever you
Say
want
whatever
down in the
you want.
Delaware Den.
So it's a safe place in the Delaware Den
Yes.
for me.
Yeah.
I feel good. So we would go in and we would disperse like a mob now at Louis Vuitton and
Yeah,
just
yeah.
grab everything. My style was to eat on the run. Like I would eat and then stash the wrapper somewhere. Eat
Yes,
something
that's what I
else.
do still.
Yeah.
Still, it's good.
Yes, it's
safe.
good.
And then
Go into Whole Foods, grab a cookie out of that thing, do a lap. We're
yeah,
done.
yeah.
I
So,
get my
yeah.
groceries from the airport.
Nice.
Yeah. You just fill up a bag on the way out.
The airport is
Even
shocking.
LaGuardia, you know?
See you later.
Yeah.
A lot of bottles of half water. a lot
Oh,
of water.
yeah.
Do you ever
Solid.
still steal just because you're like, I know how easy this is?
I tried not to, but at Whole Foods, my wife self-checkout
Oh, yeah.
kills it.
Yes.
Mm.
And I sit there and act like it's not happening, but I'm talking shit the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that guy definitely saw that. Oh, you're going to get busted. They're going to get us at the front door.
Yeah.
Have you been to jail for stealing?
No, I got grabbed by like a good citizen guy one time.
Oh, I hate that.
He was a
you
fucking-
hate a
One of
good
those
citizen.
sovereign citizen guys.
He was a hero that was in love with this guy that owned some property on the island. I used to be in a car club. I used to go over here to that pool hall. What's that? Union Pool?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Union Pool. I was
Union
just there
Pool?
Sunday.
That pool. I used to go to Union Pool when it was
Saw
20
Spiritual Crew.
years ago.
Yeah.
And I was in the Rumblers car club. Raja from Agnostic Front started it.
Yeah.
It was like 12 of us when it started. So I had a 63 box Nova and somebody was like, yo, there's a 63 convertible. There's a 63 box.
She's
Nova.
wet. She loves cars. She's sliding off the couch.
That's a good one.
It's all greased up.
Yeah.
So they thought that was too old because the rule was pre 64, but they were trying to be like 50s like greaser guys, and I wanted to make
gotcha.
like a brown shitty lowrider with like a leopard interior and like gold rims. That was my dream.
Yeah.
So was living my dream, but I had to fix it and I had to do some body work on it. I got it for like $1,500 from a tattoo trade. But some dude was like, yo, there's this exact car, but a hardtop in this guy's yard, just like with trees growing through it. So I went there to strip it and with this other guy and this jacked up like Long Island construction hero came onto the property like hot in his truck. And I was just like, dude, relax. Like, he's, I'm calling him. Right. I said, call him. I'll buy the fucking
Yeah.
car. Like, but we already had to start stripping some of the stuff off it, the details I was looking for. And then he called the cops.
Oh my God.
And I was just like, same shit. I was like, dude, I'll buy the fucking car from the guy. Like, there's no ill intent. Don't fucking tell me there's there's tools here. You're fucking. And I was like, ugh. So we got away with it, but it was just annoying. So I think that was one of the things, though. Like, there was a lesson there. Was just like, if you could buy it, just buy it.
Yeah, just to ask. I bet he would have let you strip it.
Yeah, but
I
then
bet he would have
just
let you haul it off.
He probably would have been like, get it out of my.
Yeah.
But
I was
too
put in
much.
jail for stealing liquor, and that was the only time I got.
When I do take from the airport, I go up and I always buy something, and then I give them like a tip to give the person.
Well, that was the thing on tour. What I would do is go to the register with like a juice.
Yeah.
And try to act like I was
with a whole tote bag full of shit.
No, I would just be bellied up. I would just be stuffed.
Totally. Yes. It's not food. It's tumors.
It's fine. But I wouldn't even. I would just eat and then wait for the next one. I never really took too much to go. Mike, or my friend Mike Judge, had a special army jacket.
Why do I know Mike Judge?
He's
you're thinking of Office Space, Beavis and Butthead, but he started the band Judge.
Two different guys?
Two different guys.
Okay, gotcha.
Two different guys, great names.
Yes, good name.
Yeah,
But
incredible
Mike
names.
Judge was a drummer for Youth to Today on this tour.
Okay.
And Mike had an army jacket that had like inside pockets, and he was our guy to get like
It's
surplus.
scary to. I've stolen forever, and the only time I got caught is this one kid was like, "It's fine, just put it in your backpack. I've stolen from here a million times," and I was like, "Okay," and I got caught. I've never been pro stuffing. You stuff, and it scares me because if you get caught, they're like, you obviously. But if you put it in a bag and they're like, you just walked out, you can be like, "Oh, I'm retarded. I'm so
forgot.
sorry." Yeah.
just walk out with it.
My grandmother
Yes, or
would
just
steal
walk out with it.
turkeys from the grocery store, and when they'd ask her, she'd go, "I have a brain tumor," and they'd be like, "All right,
Dude.
okay."
My friend Helene
Makes a
was.
lot of sense.
yeah.
My friend Helene was in a wheelchair. She was paralyzed from the waist down, and we would just stack whatever clothes we wanted on top of her, go through, and it would be like beep, 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 beep. And I'd be like, "I'm sorry, she's retarded or whatever." And they would just let us go. It was crazy. And they'd be like, "It's okay. I believe you paid."
Yeah, because it's
awesome.
and it's also like you're like, oh, you're attacking handicapped.
Yes.
Nice.
It was the best. We would do so much stuff with that wheelchair. Just barrel down things, just like big cardboard cutouts in movie theaters. She would just run through all of them.
And just act like you.
Yeah,
Got away from
nobody
me.
would say anything. Like, it was
No.
crazy. You could do whatever you wanted.
It's-
You could be like, "I
that's-
want a muffin." They hand it to you, and then you just leave without
That's
paying.
probably the one perk of being paralyzed.
Yes.
I know.
There's not too many. I'm trying
the
to think.
Xanax.
There's always
A
something
lot
to
of
look forward
Xanax.
to.
Next.
You know.
Yeah.
Well, she, you know what? She lived on the sunny side of the street. Your friend.
She did.
She
Yeah.
always.
She really
She
did.
did.
Mhm.
She's good.
I
Good
walked
for
in
her.
when she got paralyzed to the hotel, to the hospital room, and she was like, I'm like crying. I don't know what to expect. I walk in and she goes, "How about this shit?" And we both
Oh,
just died laughing. It was
That's-
awesome.
She's the best ever.
the best. Yeah.
Wow.
Really cool. She came to all my comedy shows. I started comedy while I was like kind of taking care of her. And she would show up at the club and they'd be like, "We have to get like an elevator fit." Like, "Are you serious?" And she'd be like, "Yep, let me in." Just
I'm
like
coming.
Yeah.
Carry
it was
me.
awesome. Yeah.
I had a couple. I had my friend. Friend of mine was paralyzed at a show. He was a quadriplegic. Broke his neck at a show. One guy.
Oh,
Yeah, she was a
No.
quadriplegic.
Guy did a stage dive while he was trying to leave. No, it wasn't like self-inflicted. Some metalhead dude jumped off the stage like with his arms like this and hit him in the back of the neck as he was leaving. He didn't see
Oh
it coming
no,
and broke his neck high and just fell.
Jesus!
And it was a wrap. But the crazy thing is he can't like even hold like a drink, but he drives a fucking van, like a big cargo van.
How?
Yeah.
With a sip.
Exactly.
No,
Yeah.
a sip.
That's how they drive.
He's
things.
got this thing happens, but it's kind of like clawish.
Yeah.
So he does some shit, but he drives like a big heavy van. He was coming to the shop one time and he locked himself in because he fell out of his wheelchair.
Yeah.
Guys, I didn't mean to laugh at that, but
It's
he
so
fell
funny.
out of his wheelchair and it was like 100 degrees and he was late. And I was like, "Where the fuck's Mike?" And I went outside and it's just like you see this hand like on the window. And I said, "Oh my God." I opened and he's like, "Help." I
Oh,
opened up, he's dripping wet. And he's like, "Motherfucker."
Jesus Christ!
He's had some fun.
It's gnarly.
He's had some adventures.
My
due to
God.
it.
One
Can he
time
get a
Helene
hard-on?
stopped breathing
I'll tell you a story.
because she was laughing so hard and she stopped breathing. And she was like, "I can't breathe." And I was like, "I don't know what to do." And she was like, "You have to take out," I mean, she's like mouthing it. "I have to take out the trach." So we're both fucked up drunk. We drove her handicapped van to like a bar. Both got wasted.
You totally get away with that too.
Totally
She's not
get away
drunk,
with
she's
it.
handicapped.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then I had to pull this thing out of her throat.
Oh,
And as she's walking me through it, she's just like currently dying. Like as she's like, just now put it in. And then I'm like stuffing this thing down her throat. And I'm like, now what? And she's like, hook it up to the machine. So I'm like locking it in. There's some guy who's trying to fuck me outside the van. This was what was so funny. This
Hurry
guy-
up with your friend's throat.
Yeah, and he was like,
trying
I
to-
just
got
didn't think
this
we could
thing
really
gonna
have this
last all
time
night.
together. And I was like,
I'm
leave me
trying to
alone.
fuck your lower throat
The
hole.
doors
Come
of
on,
the
honey.
van are automatic, so if your body's in the way, they all open and close. So I'm blocking it. So all the doors are. It was so funny. I hook her up, and she's like, and then we just die laughing so hard. It was crazy. I mean, her.
did she hang out while the guy fucked you?
Yeah.
No, I didn't fuck.
Well, she
Oh.
was the
didn't
one
fuck
that had to
guy.
wheel her home. She was stuck. She was
Yeah.
So the boner question.
Yeah. Does that
Yeah.
can that guy get a hard
So that was the thing I was thinking, because he would say stuff like, "Hey, what do you do when you go home? You sit down. What do you do when you're driving? You sit down." Shit. And I was like, that's a good way to look at it. Like walking's overrated, I guess. Fuck it, sitting down. We all just want to sit down. And but then the boner question came up, and he couldn't. But then he found, and I believe the term is dev, like a devotee. It's like a woman or a man who is into pleasuring and serving quadriplegics. It's like
The
a
ear. They can do the ear
it's
touch.
a niche thing.
Yes.
What is the
Ear touch, neck touch. You can.
Oh
go
no,
to-
this is full fucking.
What?
They're into like
The floppy dick.
they like to pull out like, the girls
The
like,
catheter
they
and
pull out
stuff.
the catheter.
I had a friend who was into that.
Yes.
Oh, no
So-
friend, no more.
So he found this girl early on like the computer.
yeah.
That was like a pretty hot. Well, she was hot. She was attractive rockabilly kind of punk girl, and she had a real kink for this thing, and it had been years.
How do you find out that's your kink?
I guess you work at an old folks home.
Something
You figure it
happens.
out.
Something happens.
Something happened to her, and she realized this is the kind of wiener I'm into.
Yeah.
Something that's
Fixer
got,
upper.
something's got a tube in it or condom
Uh-huh.
over it or it doesn't work.
Wow.
So really, I guess really a hard worker, diligent,
Yeah.
really devoted, a devotee. So she was devoted, and he said he didn't think it worked at all. And she was like, well, "Let's see if we can jumpstart this jalopy and get it going."
That's so funny.
So he said,
Kind of nice because he can't
Visually.
touch her. I could imagine being into that.
"Yeah,
Like just pleasuring a dude who can't grab your tits and stuff, and you're like, you literally are at my command.
that's what it might
could
be a
be
little
cool.
bit
you
of
just
that."
unlocked a thing in her.
I did. She was like, "How could you get?" Wait,
Yeah.
If I strap
just
a man
realized-
Gentlemen,
down,
lock up your catheter.
I
Here
just
she
realized how
comes.
you could find this
it would be
kink.
sick to have sex and be like, you cannot touch you can't, because some guys are always grabbing, and you're like, stop.
I know we're very
Well, we just
grabby.
don't know where to put our hands.
Just
You know,
Yeah,
do you feel like we're
cover your
neglecting
ears,
you?
over your eyes, ideally.
you feel like you're like, all right, am I concentrating too hard on this one spot? Maybe I should give her a little bit here and there.
Right. Totally.
Yeah, I don't have that. But
You're
I
just-
I know my rules. I know
that's great.
my wife's.
Yeah.
I know what to do. There's, I mean, some things I do that I probably shouldn't, but I know there's things I don't have to do.
Yes.
It's like that's doing nothing for me.
That's great.
Yeah, she's good like that. Honest relationship. So anyway, my friend, he's realizes it's a visual thing. So if he's watching, he can connect what he's seeing into like finding that. And he
Whoa.
got a boner, and
Oh
then
my
he
God.
started to feel it. And he was just like, "Oh, holy shit."
It's like,
holy
all right, now
shit,
do it
holy
with my
shit."
legs.
Yeah.
So she was she get my legs, do it to my spine.
Yeah. Start touching my shit.
my
Let me see
spine
if I can
hard.
feel it.
Rub my spine, please.
Wow. Blow my
Come on,
spine.
yeah.
Put my spine in your ass.
Lick my spine, lady.
Wow.
What are we
Let me
doing?
see it. Got a mirror. Who's watching?
Yeah.
He's got the ponytail
Yeah.
mirror. Nothing. So I think, yeah, she was pretty excited at what she was
Wow.
capable of, and it came to a head, no pun intended.
Wow.
And he said it was like, I don't know, 10 years worth.
Oh my God, a bucket?
Oh,
A bucket of
Oh,
cum.
just kajunks and
Wow.
kajunks.
Wow.
He said it just wouldn't stop. And then,
Really?
And then he was like, he cleared it out, and then she was
Stoked.
She probably felt like an Academy
Yeah.
Award winner.
Wow. I mean, that's like when a guy finds out a girl can't come from oral and they're like, I'll be the one. But this actually works.
That's epic.
Yes. It's
Wow.
very rare that you do unlock that riddle
Yeah,
at
yeah,
that
yeah.
point.
I know.
But
I have
that
a friend who
male
said she.
ego, like, oh, I'll be the one to knock it loose.
I got
and then
it.
after an hour, you're like, you've defeated me.
You're right. You can't come.
Yeah.
Go get your vibrator. It's fine.
Oh my God, her head must have been blown off. after
She
that guy-
was. I think
Are
she
they
was
still
pleased.
together?
No,
Oh,
I know. Not every story has
that's a
has
happy
multiple happy
ending.
endings.
Yeah.
Only one happy ending.
Wow, but at least he knows he can.
Yes, and then he continued to, and then life got better. I think
Yeah,
Wow.
totally. If you can come,
at
you're
that.
fine.
if you could come, it's pretty awesome.
Although
Mhm.
if you're on Prozac, I'm on Prozac, can't come, but still awesome because of the Prozac.
Do you ever want to come and just get off the Prozac? Does that work like that?
I did that before the pandemic because I was having a hard time coming because I'm on Zoloft. That was a bad time to get off
I
your
feel
meds.
I feel so weak that I'm not on anything.
You're not weak. You're brave that you can
Yeah.
face the
You know why?
words.
Because I'm into coming.
Yeah. Well, you have a partner. Me and him are going to die alone, so
Yeah.
we need
Yeah, I
Prozac.
think you
to,
guys could both totally nail partners. Don't want a partner?
we're broken dolls.
Yeah.
Listen, there's so much baggage attached to this. You just gotta
Got to find your own dev.
you gotta find
own
someone that just
devotee.
takes you for what you are.
Yeah. When did you
Yeah.
meet your wife?
Been together for 15 years.
So
Oh, that's
she's
great.
third wife?
No, I had one wife, one baby's mama, and now she's my
Wow,
forever.
you really are from Queens.
Yeah.
from Queens.
Did you meet
From
her?
Harlem.
Was she at a show?
Yeah.
No, I actually met her at the shop. She was friends with a guy that worked for me. And we went to his birthday party and she was there with one of her friends. And he was just like, yo, I want to fuck this girl. You know, her friend's really hot. Come wingman me. And we met and we were chatting. And he was kind of like, I mean, you saw what she looks like. So she's pretty fucking cute.
She's hot.
A lot hotter
Cutie.
than me. And she was like the
Hey.
hottest girl at the fucking party.
You're
I'm
pretty
like
hot.
hot in like a bald old guy way, but she's
Yeah.
hot like in a hot way.
Mm.
So
Hot, bald old guy is what's hot to hot girls.
yes,
You know what I
hot,
mean?
But
Younger
who
girls,
knew?
yeah.
Who knew?
I was
know.
like,
It's
I'm
fucked up.
gonna yeah, I'll tell you a romance story. She was there, hottest girl there, little white dress, short haircut, really cute. So you relax, out of your league. It's like why fucking just be normal.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was fucking bored. So I was like getting pizza together to like, you know, serve for people. And we got introduced and I said, hey, you want a slice of pizza? And she started laughing. And I was like, why are you laughing? And her friend's like, yeah, why are you laughing? And she's like, I don't know. And she said that was it. That was the moment she knew.
Wow.
She just got the giggles. I just got goosebumps.
She got the giggles and she said, it was like I knew it. So the rest of our lives together.
Oh, that's so cute.
She's the best. Yeah.
Cut
Oh
to
my
me just going
gosh,
up to
look, I have
women like, do you
goosebumps.
want pizza? Pizza? If you don't eat this, I'm going to eat the whole pie. If I wrap my dick in
You want
pizza,
me to?
we eat it.
You want me to?
Pizza.
Oh my
pepperoni.
god, that is so
Dying
funny.
alone.
Yeah, it's different than the Taco Bell incident.
Oh, boy.
Ian went to a girl's house.
No. You got to give the history because you don't know
I'm just
the
gonna
history.
say the truth. He went to a girl's
No,
house.
no. The truth doesn't exist without context.
All right, you tell a story.
Okay. Me and this gal, friends for years.
Okay.
What is so funny? Pizza? And so we've been friends for years, whatever. And then have you ever had a friend that you hang out, a gal pal, and you're like, wouldn't it be funny if we fucked? That'd be fun.
Not a friend, but I had someone
that
once,
you've had like history with in a way.
No, it was no history. It was just like, well, it'd be funny. And I was like, yeah, that would be funny.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, what a gag.
Yeah.
Wait, why
Let's
funny?
be
Don't
funny.
question it. Don't want to know the root of the funny. Just want to get to the laughs. So we hung out. We said that. And then we had a great night. We spent the day together. Walked over the Williamsburg Bridge, holding hands. Romance. Go back to my apartment. Walk in. She immediately says, I'm not having sex with you until you clean your apartment. I was like, okay. So what do you know? Next day, I'm fucking Mr. Clean up in this bitch, just like scrubbing everything. Like, I cleaned it for you, my lady. A little off-putting. And then she loves Taco Bell, and she was having a bad day. I was in her neighborhood.
Okay.
Can I
And
just say
she
having a
kept-
bad day? Can I just say having a bad day if you're a woman means I don't really want to hang out with you today? He said, "You want to hang out?" And she went, I'm having a bad day. Yeah, go ahead.
She was on her period. I know how you gals get. You're all a little hungry. And so she kept saying, "You got to come to my apartment. You got to see my new apartment."
Way before this day.
Oh, okay. Wasn't
but
the
she
same day.
also did not tell me where her apartment was, just the cross streets.
Ooh.
So
Oh, thank you for
I-
giving all information. I'm
Creep
proud of you
out.
for this.
I
Is this mine or
got,
yours? Do you want
That's
this?
yours.
Okay.
I got Taco Bell and called her, and she didn't pick up. So I sent a selfie of me at the intersection in which she
Oh,
lived. and
that's
said,
scary.
I got food.
It's very
That's
scary. It's
romantic
very scary. No, it's not.
if it worked. No. You don't think that that's a nice
Okay, let's
story
play
to
it
tell?
out. Let's
There is
play it out
history.
like
There
AA.
is history, maybe. There was history.
We, I open the door. Me and you then proceed to eat Taco Bell while I'm on my period.
I wasn't trying to fuck. I was trying to say, hey, it'll be fun. We'll hang out because I got to go
You were
somewhere.
building a relationship in your mind. I see.
Well, in your mind, kind of makes it seem crazy.
Yes, it was just in his mind. Nobody wants to hang out if they say I'm in a bad mood and I'm not giving you my exact.
If
When we stay at a
you-
hotel together, I don't tell them the room number.
Yeah,
Because-
you know why?
And you did it the other night. I accidentally let you know the hotel number, and I'm in bed, and I say goodnight to these two. Good night. I have an early flight. Goodbye, lovey dovey. Go to the hotel, and I fucking hear this idiot. Ding, 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 ding. And I just was like, yo. And I didn't do anything. And he texts me, he goes, I thought it'd be funny to go to your room, but I went to the wrong room. And I was like, no, you didn't.
I just ignored you as if it was the
Fucker.
wrong room.
So annoying. He goes, we didn't say goodbye. And I was like, we said goodbye for like 15 minutes.
We
You
get-
probably didn't think it was a goodbye
We
because it was
didn't
so
hug.
long. Yes, we
have,
did.
Oh.
I have bandmate stuff like that where we'll be in a hotel and someone will be like, come on my room. Like, I'm good.
Yeah,
I have
no.
my own room and I
Yeah.
don't want to sit on the edge of your bed and
Gossip.
Sit in your
I
weird
see you all
chair.
see you all the time.
Call
Yeah.
boys you like and hang up when they pick up.
That's why those rooms are like, feng shuied in that awkward way. So you don't want to you can't talk
Yeah.
in there. You're all facing the same way.
Yeah.
You have to rearrange the whole room to have a
Totally.
conversation.
I just want to say, not weird. What I
Very
did.
weird. Picture.
If
Sent.
it was a girl I just
Sweet.
met on Tinder, thank you.
It
That
was
would be
sweet.
weird. I'd never do that.
Nobody
This is
wants
I've been
sweet.
friends with her for fucking 8 years.
Nobody wants sweet is true.
Jesus Christ.
That's sick.
You fucking bitch.
This
I'm
place, I
sweating.
got to say, this basement is full of weapons. It's great.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Tricks and treats. I offered you donuts and a knife.
Yeah, it's great.
You know?
even the comb knife was great. I
Yeah.
saw it. That's
Thank
what
you.
I cut my donut with it. It was fantastic. I'm into it.
God, that made me sweat. That
Yeah.
taste.
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
You got me good.
That was
Good work.
Thank you.
Good job.
Whew.
All right.
What? But now that I like that you said nobody wants sweet.
Nobody wants sweet. It sucks. I wish that I wanted sweet. I
You
would
want
be in a
sweet
relationship if I wanted sweet.
sometimes. There was some. I don't know who it was. I just saw it like on a reel. It was a female comedian. She said, "We like when you start sweet
Ali Wong.
and then you end a little rapey."
Yeah. Ali Wong. That's
Yeah.
a great bit.
It's a
Yeah.
good bit.
It's really, she's like, we want you to go really slow and by the end of it be fully forcing sex.
Oh,
on
yeah.
us. Yeah,
She's
totally.
like, get a little rapey at the
Yeah.
end, and it's true.
Well, I
Not for everyone.
I was with a gal and she said that to me. She was like, look, I'm kind of into this thing. I don't know if you're not okay with it. Some guys aren't, but I'm into rape play. And I didn't know what that was. And I was like, look, I want to make you happy. I'm down, but I don't think I can get a hard on hiding from you wearing a mask. And she's like, what? And I was like, isn't that like I jump out and tackle you?
Dude,
She's
that
like,
sounds
"No,
great."
That's not
She's
rape
like, that's
play."
actually rape.
Yeah. I was like, then what are you talking about? And she's like, you force yourself on me in bed. I'm like, oh, okay.
You're like, I don't play rape.
yeah,
You go full on rape or
I
no
have-
rape.
It's method, baby.
Yeah, it's rape or no. nothing.
yeah. But in my head, I'm like, do you want me to hide in a bush? I'm going to get prickles on me. I can't get hard.
My two foiled attempts. Ready? One, I was like, come in through my window. That'll be hot. Not hot. I ended up having to grab him by the back of the belt and help him in. Right.
Not
That was my
sexy.
one. Not
No.
sexy.
Like Clarissa's neighbor on Clarissa Explains It All.
And then the second attempt, this guy who broke up with me a week later, he was like, what do you want me to say in sex?
Oh,
And I was thinking in my head, I was like,
Nothing.
yeah,
Shut
nothing. I want you to be like, I'm going to fucking kill you, bitch, but I don't want to scare him away. So I was like, I guess if I was, what happened in my head is I was like, I'm like bad and I have to be punished. So I said, can you say fair's fair?
Fair's fair. Okay.
Like they're bartering for beaver pill.
Fair's fair.
Well,
And at
fair's
one point
fair.
during sex, he was behind me and I heard him sigh. Like I heard him be like, and then he goes, fair's fair. And I was like, fuck, no, not like that. You're right. It's bad. So my rapey attempts have been thwarted.
Yeah, fair's fair is
Oh,
not the
it's
best.
rough,
and I know it.
That wasn't the best line.
I
You
was
really
thinking
gotta-
like you're a pickpocket and I got to get you back. You stole my things. Fair's fair.
Oh, like I'm getting even with you.
Yeah. Oh my
this is
God.
Like, I'll give up that ass.
Maybe this is what you get.
Yes.
This is what you deserve.
yes.
You asked for this.
See, we could have writing
Yes.
sessions before we do this.
Yeah,
you
I know. It's really bad.
This gal and I didn't really communicate too well, but she said she liked to be dominated, and we were having sex, and she's like, "Are you gonna come in me, or are you a little bitch?"
Oh, this is
This is
funny.
what a man does. A man comes to me, and I was like, "Wait, is this? Should I now?" And then I was like, "I'm a man, but I don't want to prove it that way."
I want to be a man a little
building
longer.
a shelf
Other
of her head.
options. Yeah. I'm like,
I
I'm
wanna-
screwing up.
Let me put your
shelf.
AC unit in.
I want to be a man a little longer. Stop saying come in my pussy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's when you want it. That's when a woman wants it to end. Just say come in my pussy and it's done.
It's
Oh,
done.
yeah.
Nobody can.
Well, the
handle
worst
it.
is when I go, I'm
Oh,
going
I
to come,
see.
and they go, not yet. And I go, oh,
Yeah.
That's
well, you're really going to put my mind in a weird place.
yes.
Yeah. Like that's what I'm here for. Trying to finish.
I know.
But if you want it to be over, if it's too long,
Yeah.
just say some dirty
Well, then
shit.
I've
Well, then
definitely
I-
said
I
that. I've been
make
like, just
my-
wait a second, and I've watched their face like, no.
Oh,
as,
yeah.
as soon as you say that, no way.
Yeah, we're just watching our grandmother's skin wilt off their body
yeah.
to try not to come.
Oh yeah.
And then they're ready to cut. They come, and then I can't come. And they're like, "Are you going to come?" I'm like, "Well, you told me not to, lady." And sorry, I listen to women.
I'm gonna come later.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
I've
leave
had
now.
so many
I
friends
owe
get
you.
abortions because they did the come in
Wait,
thing.
you've what?
I've had so many friends get abortions.
Oh, I thought you said you've had some.
I've never had one. I'm barren, inhospitable womb. Thank
Nice.
you. I don't know if that's true, but I think it is because I've gotten a lot of loads blown in that old bakery.
That's a one way to That's
Yeah.
usually a test, but not 100%.
Not 100% test. We'll see.
100%.
I think you
Would
have
it be
to
funny
want
if Ziv just puked up that donut? You're like, bakery's closed.
it. Throw some yeast in there.
might just bakery just might have too much yeast.
That's,
Might be a
it
dirty
could be it.
bakery.
Yeah, too much dough.
You got a bad health rating.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a D listing on the window.
Dude, I went to a food place, a ramen place by the cellar that had a D in the window, and it was so good.
Yeah, you're like
They're
fuck,
the best.
Fuck this guy. He's a hater. Whoever gave you
Yes.
this
Yeah.
rating.
I don't care if I'm eating rat. It was so good.
I-
I did see a Chinese man fishing out off the Santa Monica Pier the other day for lobsters, and I was like, that is what we're eating when we go to some of these places.
Yeah, but where else?
It
are you
was like
supposed
a-
to get the fucking lobster.
In a cage off somewhere. I mean, there was like a homeless man shitting in the same place he was.
That's why they get so big. Those lobsters.
Yeah.
Human shit
Yeah.
really bulks you up.
Mhm.
I
Where
heard.
do you live? Long Island?
I live in Manhattan.
Oh, you live in Manhattan.
But you tattoo on Long Island.
Yes, I live in Harlem and I tattoo in Sayville. It was
Oh, yeah.
illegal to tattoo
Yes.
in New York.
Yes.
when
From what?
I-
1960.
60 like 7 or 68
to
to
97, right?
90.
I'm
90. No,
excited.
you're right. You're doing good. You're
Yeah.
doing good facts.
Your gay hand down the.
90,
I know I do this sometimes.
7, yeah.
Why?
They blamed it on a hepatitis outbreak and they blamed
And
tattooing,
also
but they were just trying to shut it down.
The
'cause
World's Fair, right?
World's Fair and taxing something that really couldn't be taxed.
What does the
was
World's Fair have to do with it?
They wanted to clean up the parts of New York that were, for
Seedy.
tourists.
I thought the World's Fair was in Chicago.
it was in Queens in 68, I think, or
Oh,
64.
okay. This was before.
Maybe it was before. Maybe it was the World's Fair was a little early. I think the World's Fair in New York was maybe 64. But they were just trying to clean up certain areas and not to the extent of like Giuliani's Times Square cleanup, but
Is the World's Fair where those big 2 towers are that are in Men in Black?
those, yes, that's in Queens.
It's the
and
Twin Towers, and they no
It's
longer
the-
exist.
Those were
Forgot.
revolving restaurants and they look like spaceships. That was for the
Whoa.
World's Fair. And that's where the Globe is, the BC Boys Globe.
Yeah.
That was all part of the World's Fair.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Queens.
And now it's just nothing?
Now it's part of the park. It's just a park.
Oh, it's in
they
there.
were going
Yeah,
to
you
tear them
can-
down, then they now
You
they're
can like
like
ride a bike around it, around the globe. It's pretty cool. I
yeah,
did it.
and you can
Really?
break into those things and climb up, but they were like an elevated revolving restaurant for the fair.
Cool.
Yeah. And
So they
world of
said
the
no
future.
tattooing because we're cleaning it up because we want to be the.
I think they were just trying to get rid of it because there was shops and a lot of shops in like Times Square and on the Bowery and different areas. But
Were you like prohibition tattooer?
yes, I was a speakeasy. I worked out of my house on 5th and B. There's actually a book my friend does travel publishing who put out my book, put a book out called In the Shadows, and it was about underground tattooing in New York.
Oh,
Whoa, cool.
So it was, it's cool.
I have-
I was like, I felt kind of like a poser because I was like, only did it for a couple of years. And like, I was like, I'm not like real deal, a 92 isn't like, 69, or
Right.
70 or even
Yeah.
into the 80s. Like Jonathan Shaw, like ran a really cool, good underground tattoo shop.
Tony Polito's old Calcutta.
Tony P. But that's the crazy thing about neighborhoods like Tony P's shop in Brooklyn, Mikey Perfetto in Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
They just had these shops in like houses
Mhm.
and like basements on like residential streets, and it was illegal. But they would just tattoo the neighborhood people and like the cops, and no one gave a shit. No one ratted them. It was just like cool, like
They
totally
would
illegal.
tattoo
and fun.
cops, and then cops wouldn't
Yeah,
catch them.
cops. No, it was like when no one gave a shit about stupid stuff. It's like, who gives a fuck? He's tattooing out of his basement. Who
I
cares?
can't believe it was illegal till 94.
Yeah, so I
That's crazy.
tattooed out of my apartment on 5th and B and had like a brown lazy boy chair as my tat chair for the customer, and taught myself how to tattoo. And luckily I had a bunch of, punk rockers and skinheads who wanted to turn blue and
Yeah.
didn't care. It was like $30 a tat. And
Wow.
yeah.
great.
Were you good at drawing before you began tattooing?
I drew a lot when I was a kid and did like, flyers, t-shirts and stuff like that, but never trained.
Okay.
I
cool.
I always wanted to like go to art school and be like that, but my parents were like, yeah, good luck.
What did you go to school for? Did you?
I went to my neighborhood high school, and then no one in my family ever went to college. So I was like, all right, I got to try to go to college. So I went to John Jay College of Criminal Justice for no reason. And I tried to study fire science because I thought if all else failed in punk rock and music or art, I would be a fireman because it seemed like a good gig. Like,
He loves firemen.
I love firefighters.
I hate them. I don't hate all of them, but I hate these fuckers that let my building like flood and didn't help me one time because it was cold, and the house next
happened?
door to me flooded. The pipes, it was like 0 degrees. This fucking Goomba bought the place. He was just going to flip it. And he said, oh yeah, everything's shut off. It's all good. Paisan, blah, blah, blah. Didn't do shit. Water was still on. And I helped a Franciscan monk that used to run it. It was an SRO when I first bought my house. So I knew where everything was in the basement and shit. So long story short, the pipes froze. Then it hit about 40 degrees. It all let go. I was at work. I came home. My oldest was like a year old.
Oh,
The fucking water was coming down the front steps of the building next to me. I came in, my ceiling was dripping. I'm like, what the fuck? There's no water pipes there. Went in the basement and everything was floating.
Jesus
Whoa.
Christ.
So called them. Now this time it was like 11 o'clock. It was February. Everything's iced up outside. Call the firemen. They show up and I'm like, yo, we got to cut that lock. It's the basement. I know where the shut off is. Blah, 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 blah. We go in the basement and we hit about 5th step. And it's like squish. They shine the light. And the dude was in front who had like the saw. He just turned around and looked at the dude in the white shirt, was just like I'm not going. I mean, it was like a pool. And I was like, yo, right there, flashlight in the corner. You got to cut that chain. That's a shutoff valve. And they were like, yeah.
because they didn't want to go in the.
Yeah. And I was like, are you guys fucking kidding me? My house is flooding, dude. I got my water heater, my fucking furnace.
Yeah.
I got a baby in the house. Fucking come on.
Whoa.
And they just left?
And they were like, no. So I said, give me the saw. I'll fucking go in.
Yeah.
Like, you guys are fucking pussies. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And, I was like in gorilla mode. I was like in save my shit mode.
Yeah.
And they walked out. And I said, yo, put the fucking hose down there, man. I saw you do that shit for Ty Pennington on like some house show. Like,
Yeah.
you pump out a pool, pump that shit out. Then we'll do it.
Yeah.
And they were like, this could be a fire. I said, could be a fire.
A
Like,
fire?
dude, my house is flooding. Like,
Could
help
be a
me.
fire. There's
Yeah.
the firefighters.
And
Yeah,
it's
fire-
wet.
Like, help me. And I was seriously like, help me. And they were like, we can't. And I was like, you fucking cowards, you fucking scumbags. Oh, 9/11, you're fucking heroes. Fuck you guys. Like flipping out in the street.
Yes.
So they left. And we called again. They came back. They were like, don't call us again. Like, we're not fucking helping, straight up. So I got a shop vac. I had a sump pump going. And I shop vac my basement from like 11 o'clock at night to like 6 in the morning.
Jesus
11
Christ.
gallons at a time down a slop sink, just so my fucking water heater. And I was broke. I bought the house. I had zero money. So I did it all night. And my ex was calling the DEP, and they were like, someone will be there by 4. And we're like, someone's got to come here now. Like, this water's not shutting off. It's just pouring out of the pipes.
Jesus Christ.
So I'm battling this water as it's coming in. And they were like, someone will be there at 4. So I get on the phone. I'm like, why 4? And then I said, oh my God, you guys are waiting. No one's coming because they got to wait for the next shift. The 4 to 12 guys are getting it. And they were like, they'll be there at 4. And I was like, everyone sucks.
That's
So 4 a.m. they started cutting the street up, and they shut the fucking water off from the street. And then
The other guys could have cut it off from the street.
no, because you had to like jackhammer a little spot. They tried to like chop the ice, and there's like a little thing, but they couldn't get into it. I mean, they were trying like,
Yeah.
they weren't trying. It was
Wow.
cold, and it was February in New York. And then like, I don't know, 2 weeks later, I remember what, they were called, like the hook and ladder company or whatever it was. And, this was early. So this is still like, everyone's still like, sucking their dick for 9/11 heroes.
Like October 2001.
2000. This
You
was like
fucking
2002, 2003.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I walk into Fairway, the grocery store, and I see them, like a few of the guys that were there. And I just start clapping and whistling. I'm like, woo! They're the fucking heroes, everybody.
Wow.
The heroes are afraid to get fucking wet. And
Yes.
the fucking chief was just like, let's go. He just left their
Yes.
fucking shit, and I just followed them walking out.
Oh, that's fucking great.
Fuck you, hero bullshit.
That's crazy to leave a place
Somebody-
with a baby.
Yes. And
Like-
a lot of those fucking guys who took credit for all that was stolen valor too. They weren't at 9/11. They weren't even firemen at the time. A lot of those dudes.
Really?
Yeah. A lot of people talk shit and get tattooed about it. It's just like, were you there? And it's like, oh no, I got joined after. And it's just like,
What?
okay.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah. There's a lot of that shit.
Hey, boys and girls, theys and thems, and whatever the fuck you little freaks are. Welcome back to another ad for Manscaped. I am excited. I've been using Manscaped, Ethan, on my face. I haven't used it on my nuts yet. I did use it on my mons pubis, but not my balls and my face. Should I say this publicly? I don't know, but I'll tell you what I will say publicly. You can get 20% off and free shipping with code SKA at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and using code SKA. They're throwing in 2 free gifts for Christmas, super comfy boxers, and travel bag to store your stuff. I will say the travel bag is cool as hell. I love traveling and I love bags. Travel bags. The Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra truly does it all. It comes with 2 blade heads, standard trimmer blade, and a foil blade for a super smooth finish. It's even waterproof, so you can literally shave anywhere. Do it in the shower, do it in the rain. Either way, shave it up so you see the main vein. This performance package has everything you need to shape up, look, feel, and smell amazing. Get 20% off free shipping with code SKA at manscaped.com. Hey, everybody. I'm excited to tell you about ExpressVPN. You can use ExpressVPN to binge Fargo on Canadian Netflix. Would you like to watch a show in England? Use ExpressVPN. I'm Irish. Watch my show. ExpressVPN. There are hundreds of VPNs out there, and there's so many. I don't even know what it stands for, but there's hundreds of VPNs, and the reason I use ExpressVPN is because it's ridiculously fast. There's never any buffering or lag, and you can stream in HD no problem. Can you imagine? What a world. ExpressVPN works in any streaming service, Hulu, BBC, iPlayer, you name it. ExpressVPN also works on all your devices, phones, smart TVs, and more. If you want to get access to hundreds of new shows. Ooh. Sorry. I don't know what's going on with my digestive system right now. I think I'm getting sick because I haven't used my ExpressVPN yet. And once I do, I'll feel a lot better. Use the link right now, expressvpn.com/ska. You can get an extra 3 months of ExpressVPN for free. That's expressvpn.com/ska. expressvpn.com/ska to learn more. Let's take it back to the show. I was a volunteer firefighter in high school before 9/11.
Thank you for your service.
You're welcome. I fought a car fire once and my helmet fell off. I was nervous.
Hurt my foot.
But I was such a fucking poser loser. I got a decal of Calvin Hobbes pissing on Osama bin Laden. And put it on my Toyota Camry. Woo!
Wow.
Let people know where you stood.
Uh-huh.
There's a fence. There's a line on the side of it.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. I'm Calvin.
You were in
pissing
high
on
school?
The line. Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he loves firefighter stuff.
It's a good gig. I have a few friends who did it later on, and they're pretty psyched that they did it.
Yeah.
I have a cousin who's a firefighter, and he was like, "I've saved a dog. That's what I've saved," and it's intense. But
Yeah,
I guess
mean,
it's
a lot of guys are
saving
just
dogs.
like, yeah, no, I'm in a nice neighborhood, nothing happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it was the
We
closest
cook.
thing I had to being a Ghostbuster.
Well, there's an old.
That's why I liked
See,
it.
that's a different gig. That
I
would be
would-
great.
I just hit it. I just would hang out upstairs, do my homework in the break room, and then slide down the pole when there were calls. But guys would run and jump down the steps and beat me going down the pole, but I still love the pole.
You're just slowly.
Because I was the
squeaking down.
fastest in the firehouse putting my suit on.
Wow.
See?
And then I quit because my mom got upset,
that you were firing, she's nervous.
nervous, scared. Only son, single, widowed mother. Didn't want me to die.
Yeah, that's fine.
I got her back.
She stayed alive.
Like you punished her? Oh, you have her back. I see.
Yeah.
I thought you were like,
They
I got
said-
her back.
She said, "I got
I
her
burned
back."
her hit.
What'd
I
you
burned
do?
her house
No,
down.
don't worry. I got my revenge.
I burned the house down.
No,
and
no.
flattened the
No,
tires on
I
the
don't want
fire
to
truck.
upset mother. Can't upset mother.
Yeah, you are that guy a little bit, huh?
What?
Can't upset Gail. We love Gail.
Oh, Gail's the best.
Where's Gail in Delaware?
Delaware, yeah.
Good for Gail.
Yeah. Yeah, she's great.
I could never do the fireman stuff. I went. My stepbrothers live at an old firehouse, and I looked down the pole, and I got vertigo and
They
fell
live
back
in it.
underground.
That's like
yeah.
that was a dream for a while. I would
That's so
love
cool.
that.
It's
Yeah.
so cool.
Or factory. I went to Detroit recently. I was so jealous.
Oh,
Isn't
for Tie
Detroit
Down Fest.
crazy?
Yes, for tie
Yeah.
down.
Yeah, I was there. I went on the Sunday. I missed Saturday.
I
You guys
think we
played
played
Saturday.
yeah. But yeah, Trapped Under Ice, I think, played Sunday,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, they closed it out. It was awesome.
The that's a cool. Detroit's cool. And
Doesn't it
then
feel like a
everyone's
city
just
where a
like-
dad lost all of his kids and he just has all this stuff now and he just has all these big buildings and it's just like one guy?
Yeah, or a guy that was just like left, like, oh, your grandfather was a like he built cars. He was an oil magnate. He was
Yeah.
this and that. And his
It's just
factory.
Bruce Wayne
Yeah.
alone.
But it's
Bruce
like
Wayne
if
before he's
Mr.
Batman.
Deeds took place in
Yeah.
Detroit.
It's crazy.
But everybody just says like, yeah, it's great. But then you live in Detroit. And
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah,
but
and the
there's, like,
neighborhood the tie down was in
comes up.
felt like Barbarian.
Oh,
You know that
really?
movie? Yeah, yeah.
it was
Kind of where House of Comedy is too.
it's
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's kind of like Thunderdome. It's like Bartertown. Like all those
Yeah.
kind of things come to mind. It's very RoboCop-y, like where a RoboCop final scene would happen is like tied down.
What was
It's
like
really crazy.
when you were traveling with Youth of Today, or even in Gorilla Biscuits heyday? Were there places that even you guys were like,
Detroit.
I'm not? Yeah,
Really?
Yeah, the first time I went to Detroit, there was like little kids standing on the corner, and like we just like looked over at them, like 9, 10 years old, and like threw something at the van. And, what the fuck you looking at, pussy?
Whoa.
And they're like faggots, and we're like, what the fuck? And they were just like,
Wow.
fuck you. We were like, all right. Like, all right, you got us.
yeah.
And it was like, fuck, little kids don't give a fuck.
But you played shows there?
Oh yeah, we played. We actually got all of our shit stolen in Detroit.
Really?
Yeah, it was like one of the last shows of the tour, and
Gorilla Biscuits, or when
no,
you
it
were
was with the Youth of Today. And the blame got put on a band called Boom and the Legion of Doom because they threw like meat and bones and stuff at us while we were. Well, I always say us, but I wasn't in the band. But the band, while we were playing, because we were vegetarian, and that happened in the '80s more than you'd think.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, the Slapshot guys from Boston did that 2-hour the line of like people going into our show. Gorilla Biscuits played Boston in the 80s one time, and we got there late. We were always fucking late, and we didn't know maps. We just dicks. We just show up late, and we show up, and these kids were like all super upset, and they were like, they came by in a van and they threw chopped meat at us and like bones and pig's feet, and I just started dying. I was like, "This is fucking amazing."
Yeah.
I was like, seriously? And they're like, yeah, why are you laughing? I'm like, it's so fucking funny.
That's
Why
what
did
Ink
they
and
do it?
Dagger
They're
did to Earth
against-
Crisis.
Who did it?
Oh.
Ink and Dagger.
Oh, did they?
The band from Philly, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Sean McCabe, the singer, threw meat at Earth Crisis.
The Earth
Just
Crisis would at least
insane to
would
me.
probably get into it. We were
Yeah.
like, we were just kind of like, thought it was
You
funny.
guys just like shrugged it off.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was funny. Like later on in like when we were touring, like I would get in fights on stage, but like my band is not the band that you want backing you in a fight.
Really? Gorilla
Nothing
Biscuits?
happens yet.
Yeah.
Like I'm always like, I just want to be a madball for one day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so I could get into some shit to get someone gets my back.
What would
Jesus.
they do? What was their reaction?
My band, they
Yeah.
just go like, come on, like they're like literally,
Come on,
like,
stop. No,
literally,
put the
like,
knife down.
literally
What are you
punching.
doing?
Well, actually, my bass player, when he was, I think he was still drinking pretty good at the time. He's sober now, but he pulled his. We got into a fight in Scotland. They put it. We had in a thing. We don't play barricade shows. We get there, giant barricade,
Mm.
and I said, "Hey, champ." It was like welded it in, like it wasn't going anywhere. I said, "We don't play. It's in the contract." And the guy was like, "Oh, that's really cute, cool. What it is Live Nation bought this venue since you had the contract with the old club, so your contract is null and void because it's a Live Nation club now." You didn't.
Oh, so this
decide
was
to-
recently.
This was like in 2000, I don't know, 8 or 9 or something.
Mhm.
So semi recently in the history of the band. And I was like, "Okay, we're not playing." And the guy was like, "Cool. Like, no problem. Like, just call my bluff." And I was like, "Fuck this." And the band was like, "Dude, you got a guarantee. This fucking show sold out. Let's just do it." And I was like, "Fuck that. Like, this is so fucked up."
Yeah.
And they're like, "We got 2 shows left. We're going to England tomorrow. Let's just play." And we come out, and I'm like, "Okay, I'll figure this out. It's the barricade was like this high, like people standing, it's like neck high.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to jump, and it's far. The security, I'm jumping over it, trying to sing, trying to get something going. And these 2 giant, like older, like skinhead dudes, guys waving at me in between songs. I must speak. I must say something. I was fucking bored. Light it up. He's like, "Do you remember playing in Czech Republic in '89?" And I was like, "Yeah, show's fucking crazy. It's like no one way in, no way out. Like one entrance, one
Ooh.
exit, fire trap, like 1,000 people. No one ever would play there. We wanted to go see Prague, so we went, and we basically played for nothing. But the show was awesome. They came into the dressing room, pulled us back out on stage, and we had to play an entire set again because they were
Whoa.
just like, "No, you're not done."
Oh, dude.
It was
that
wild.
is
Badass.
cool.
It was cool. I mean, it's kind of sucked at the time. I
Yeah.
was like, "This sucks," but it was cool.
Like
Um,
hostage?
Like, yeah, like, no, you're like playing, no security, like, "Thank you, good night," played, Louie, and, "Should I stay or should I go?" And then
Yeah.
went backstage and was like, "All right, cool rock show." And then it was like, "No, do it again."
Wow.
Oh my God.
So we did it. Or we would have probably gotten beaten to death.
Yeah.
So these
That's
guys were at the
crazy.
show, and they were like, "We were there. That was great. This is shit." And he throws the mic back at me. So pissed because he was right.
Yeah.
And I gave him the mic, and he just like fucking burned me so bad.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Yeah, you got a point, but but we're gonna try our best and have a good time anyway, even though this barricade security is here. It sucks." So I'm fucking pissed, but I'm trying to be like positive guy. And I see him in the back, and they're just throwing down pints of beer. And then I see them kind of nudge each other, and I'm like, "Oh, here we go." And I see them walking back, pushing their way back through the crowd. And they kind of come on the side. And now, like, security guys are like, smaller than us. So
Yeah.
it's just like, well, you're not going to do anything against these 2 fucking savages. So they come on the side of the stage, and they're trying to, like, I can see they're trying to make their way over. And there's some girls standing where, like, the barricade ends and the stage begins. And he, like, pushes the girl. The girl says something, and he just grabs her by the face, like, mushes her, like, down to the ground.
Whoa.
And I was just like, "Okay, fuck this guy." So I stopped singing, and I walk over, And I'm just like, oh, I was like, oh, you're a fucking tough guy. You just like smacked a girl. You're so fucking tough. But they got pints of beer still in their hand. So I'm like, I'm going to wind up getting stitches. Like I'm going to the hospital, but whatever. I'm so fucking pissed. This guy got me. And then he just mushed a girl. So for some reason I got the mic like this in my right hand and it's like low and I'm fucking screaming at the guy. And his friend and my bass player comes over and he's like doing like his best Paul Simonon, like, fuck you, like Johnny Cash. And the dude's like, oh yeah, fuck me. And he just throws his beer at him, but goes past him. But as it goes past him, it empties out and hits him from his head, like his groin. Like,
Wow.
Like flash dance.
Yeah.
And I see that as it goes past me, I'm like, fuck. So I throw like a jump hook and I punch him in the face.
Nice.
And then the dude who's closer to me, I see him winding up. I'm like, fuck. So I kind of go like this and he hits me in the head with a pint, but it's plastic.
Oh, good.
So it was like, it just goes bonk.
Yes.
And I'm covered in beer. And I was like, plastic. So I punch him.
Let's go.
And but this is my good guy with the mic in it. And I'm throwing the lefts for left hooks and nothing's
You're
happening.
still singing.
They're just like, no, to this point, I wish. I tried to get a guy in a triangle in Europe because he fell on me. So I tried to like get him in a triangle while I was singing, but it was just because Billy Biohazard was there and some of the guys from.
What's a triangle?
It's like
Triangle
a
choke?
triangle choke. Sure.
Don't do it to me.
Here.
Don't hurt me.
Leg. You got to go legs between. This is good. This is potting. There it is.
Oh, why
yeah.
are you hurting?
Because it's a triangle choke. Ow!
Yeah, you little bitch.
You got
You got
Charlie.
me. I didn't mean to hurt you. Did I hurt you?
I didn't thought you said not get him. He deserves it.
All right.
I
Tase
would
me once
never. Why
because
would
I
you
didn't
not
mean
react to that?
because I
He
deserve
deserved
it.
No, it's
it.
okay. I got you back. Yeah, pinch
You
is pretty good.
really
I know I
pinched
did.
me good.
Yeah, I
That
got
was
Oh
a
you.
my
quick
God.
pinch. I didn't even notice it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Nice
Was that a
pinching.
good
He
triangle?
can't do anything
Almost.
without, like, he can't demonstrate anything without actually
It
hurting.
was a
Oh,
good
I'm sorry.
triangle
It's
choke, but
retarded.
Sorry,
the
I'm
bad
sorry.
the bad part is most of the time when someone goes for a triangle choke, no one falls into their lap like that.
Yeah. You were
She
like
made it pretty easy.
gently
Yeah.
falling in.
Yeah,
She's
because
like,
I was doing
I'm
a
gonna-
demonstration,
my
and then you're like,
God.
"Oh, I got
I
the
got
wet
excited.
blanket. Let
I
me
got
squeeze."
excited. I got
I knew you would get excited.
I
That's
just
why I
wanted
had.
his approval.
That was.
know.
I'm sorry. That was my fault.
It's not your fault. It's this retard's fault. And then I was ready for him to do it, so I was like, "I'm sorry. I'm gonna do the
dude,
worst
that was
monkey
a
bite." Yeah, dude.
That thing
I was
stinging,
ready
huh?
with the monkey bite. I knew that
That
he
was a no nail. That was just a straight.
Oh,
finger
dude,
pinch.
it was a
this.
pinch and turn.
It was this and
Oh, you
twist because
twisted.
I knew I was like, he's gonna put his
No,
arms
you
around
nailed
me,
it.
and I'm
You're right.
ready. That's fine. But then I
Yeah.
knew if he started squeezing, it would hurt me, and I'd have to. So I just got my fingers ready, and as he squeezed, I.
You're
Got
you're
it.
right, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, I
So-
know
Shake.
that's gonna happen every time.
You know what?
Friends.
And you won.
The other day he had a
the
cane,
fight.
and I'm talking about that we have no free will, and he goes, "I have free will," and just smacks me with a cane. And later I'm changing, and I look, and there's just a cat head
Imprint.
imprint.
Oh, there's certain ways to prove your point.
This fucking idiot.
I know. I ball tapped our friend Ari.
Oh my
the other
god,
night.
Ari Shafir, who's like the best
I-
comic of all time.
I ball tapped him and
Yeah.
it hurt him, and I was like, I am sorry, and now I will get myself back. And I ball tapped myself, and it was, I almost puked.
I ball tapped my friend Jimmy the other night at Morrissey, but no one knew like we were friends and no one knew what was happening. He's
Oh,
like
that's the
standing,
best.
he's like letting his like children and his wife go through.
Oh.
So I got up out of my seat because I got tickets day of in the same aisle, but he didn't see me. So I asked these people to move, and like I walked over and just reached around and
Yes.
gave him a pud
Nice.
bash.
Yes.
And everyone's just like, and Mary's like, the whole place is looking at you because you just went over and grabbed his dick. And I was like, well, it's really a smack.
It was,
Yeah,
it
wasn't
was
a dick
It was a
grab.
loving smack.
It was a, it was
It was
just
a
Tug at the
thwap.
end.
It was a thwap.
little tug.
You went to Morrissey?
I went 2 nights to Morrissey
Nice.
because
How
it was right in the neighborhood. He played at this beautiful Palace Theater from 1930
Oh, wow.
Nice.
in the Heights, and he was on 172nd Street, so it was pretty close to my house.
Wow.
How old is he?
How old is Morrissey?
Yeah.
I would venture to guess early 60s.
And it was awesome.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
So I saw him at the Garden with Blondie opening, and it wasn't that awesome.
I don't like the Garden. I'll say it right now. I saw Bruce Springsteen there. I don't like it.
It's a big talk for someone not from New York. That's what it is. That's what happens.
I'm from New York, just not New York City.
You can't. Yes, New York City. No, I'm just kidding. I don't have any attachment
It's
to
too
the Garden.
big.
It's too much.
And then you're walking through and there's so much food and sushi, and then you just get in there and
Yeah.
you're so far away.
You can enjoy like a Knicks game there if
yes,
you're close.
Yes.
But for a rock concert, I just went to go see Blink-182 there and Turnstile. And
Oh my God, Turnstile played MSG. Wow.
they opened up. They did a whole leg of that tour.
For Blink, yeah.
Oh,
And
yes,
it was
yes, yes,
cool.
yes.
It was cool to see, but it's not their thing. And then we just played with them in Alabama. We've been playing with Turnstile for years in different, capacity, and now they're just this fucking huge force. And they're the
Well, Glow On, they just made it so
Glow
listenable
On
for
is
everybody.
so fucking
Yeah.
cool, but it made so many haters.
Yeah.
Made so many fans for them, and I'm a fucking fan. And we played like This Is Hardcore with them over 10 years ago, and like a bunch of shows. But
You'll see, I'll be on stage and I'll see somebody with a Turnstile shirt and I'm like, oh, Turnstile. And it's like the biggest dork, like the last person you would ever. And I was like, yeah, that's a Glow On shirt. You just,
but it introduces
Yeah.
people to some older stuff and some newer stuff.
Yeah. And then they
But
go to
who
the
gives
show
a-
and see how violent it is, and they're like,
No, there shouldn't be violence.
it's like, well, then you don't belong.
But in Alabama, they play. I think it was Alabama. Maybe I don't know where the fuck I was. There was somewhere, and they played a big stage, but there was like a drop down sort of like stage, and no barricade, no security, and
oh,
it was so good.
really?
It was so good because they were in their element.
Yeah.
Like they were getting fucking hit by people on stage.
Really?
Yeah.
Turnstile?
They're not fucking like, rock or being pussies about stuff. Can
I
say
got into
pussies or you get in
Turnstile
trouble?
from Glow On. And then I went back.
Right.
And
But
I was like, oh, they are
Glow On
hard.
is sick because the way they put it out and the way they use social media, and like they did it in this really smart, and it was like little presents because it was during like COVID.
Oh,
and,
that's
like,
right. That's
yeah.
right. That's
They
right.
dropped it really smart. So I
Yeah.
was just psyched for them, like the
It
way
also
they changed
was,
the
the
game.
album is every song alone.
But even like
is a
some
hit.
of the
It's
songs are
crazy.
so short and so weird and like so cool, but they're
Yeah.
all hits. But
But
I
it's
was a
very
fan.
much like a Justice influence in that. from Justice
Totally.
Trip.
Yeah. Justice
from
Angel
Trapped
Dust.
Under
Oh,
Ice
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
Angel Dust.
Yeah.
But then
The
someone
psychedelic, like-
said like, that's what I mean. There's a lot of strange things that made sense, so they did it in the right way.
Yeah.
I
And
like-
it is cool that it gets people into hardcore and then they go back to find
I never
what
realized-
influenced them and influence
yeah.
them.
And
that's-
because those
that's really
guys,
cool.
all those guys and that girl, they know their shit, And I mean, and then someone said to me like, "Oh, they ripped off Shelter and Civ or something on that,"
Mhm.
and I was like, "Oh, I'll take that compliment."
Yeah,
like the
thank you so much.
dynamics
Yeah.
and the
Yes, they
the
did.
highness of his voice. I was like,
Yeah.
I could definitely hear Shelter, Civ less, but Shelter. But I was like, that's fucking cool. Like
Yeah.
I'm into that. But anyway, I watched them play the Garden, and it was like, good for you guys because playing the Garden is cool. I got to do it with Civ. We opened for Kiss one time on the
Whoa.
comeback, their reunion tour. It was nepotism. We had the same management company,
Yeah.
but
That's awesome.
it was cool.
That's
They did
kind of
it.
how it works though with bands. I
Oh,
think, a lot of
100%. But like those guys, like for Turnstile, they're the band right now that older bands or big bands want to give them credibility.
Mm.
Where it's like
Oh, gotcha.
we're playing this regardless, but we can make it a cool show or we can just make it about us. So if we get you to say yes, then you give us credibility that we're cool with the kids. We're hot in the streets. We're wearing
Oh.
tie-dye sweatshirts and we're doing it.
Ah.
So you know what I get? You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So even though like, because they had offers from like the Foo Fighters, from Paramore,
Right,
and
right.
Blink, so they chose that tour.
Well, they had when we went. They had Akulu. Have you heard of them?
Ceremony.
Ceremony. I love.
Yeah.
Ceremony rules.
Anthony's
Check
one of
out
my
Akulu
favorite.
because they were like they're
Cool, I
like
don't know.
they're the least known band
They're
on that
Brooklyn
lineup,
band.
but they are so fucking good. It's crazy because I had been listening to them and I was like, oh, they're opening for Turnstile.
Yeah.
And we were stuck outside, couldn't get in, but you can hear them. And I was like, dude, they rip. They're really good. We were stuck
Yeah.
outside because he got fake tickets.
We-
So
I
funny.
got scammed on tickets.
He got
and then I got it.
he
in.
goes, let's go to Turnstile. I buy my own ticket because I can foresee. I'm like, I know Ian and he's going to get scammed. So I buy my own. He's like, no, I got him. I'm
It's
like,
I'm gonna print mine.
yeah. And then we get there. It's like a month later and I forget I bought my own. So I'm waiting with Ian while he figures out the scam. And then I was like, you guys, I have my own ticket. And then somehow using mine, you're begging. We all got in.
Yeah, we got in and kind of swindled an old security guard and like kind of gave him the rope-a-dope of like confusing him.
Nice.
And-
Started juggling on your unicycle.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Literally
Watch this.
juggling. Yeah.
Yeah. Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
Literally, I was like, well, I'm going to smoke, but my friend's out
Yes.
there already and they need a cigarette. So if I just go, he was like, oh, go, okay,
Yeah.
you kids.
Just stop talking to me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Eventually, they literally were like, I want this man away from me.
they. Yeah, yeah.
Let's let him go.
Yeah.
And then we were at the cellar. It was a bunch of comics, and we all were at the cellar the next day. Ian can't turn his head. I'm limping. Our friend, I think it was
Feeney.
Feeney had a
He had like
huge
a big
jaw.
thing on his
Shane
face.
Torres couldn't move. Like all of us were just like, that was the best.
You did good then. Yeah,
Yeah, it was
It's not
really
for
fun.
everybody.
I still stage dive,
Oh.
and I'm 38. I love it. I'll never stop it. Every show I got, I just went to Blacklisted and Unbroken in Philly at the church.
I think I saw a video of you stage diving
Oh, really?
on your Instagram, right?
Yeah, I did one with a cane at Angel Dust a while
Are you talking
ago.
about the flip that he did at the? Didn't you go to Taking Back Sunday flip?
Oh yeah. Oh, I went to that
I think it
backyard
was
show with
maybe,
Taking
I
Back
think it was
Sunday.
Philly. I think it was Philly. Maybe I saw.
Or
it.
maybe I sang the Freddie Mailball part on Guilty by Association with
For
H2O
H2O,
at
maybe.
your show. Yeah.
Oh, at our show.
Yeah. And then I went
Cool.
outside to smoke
yeah,
cigarettes,
yeah,
and
yeah.
everybody packed in so hard for Gorilla Biscuits, I could not get through. And I was
Smoking
like,
will get you.
well, I guess I'll just stay out here. I literally watched through the window like a little kid. I was
Oh,
like,
from
I
that
wish I was
side thing?
there. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
Man, that sucks.
Yeah, it was so packed. It was so cool. People, it's so awesome to see everyone just get so fucking stoked on how great
those
you guys
those
are.
shows were fun.
Yeah.
I think the second night, I feel like the first night, what happens is if we do 2 nights, it's like the first night seems to be more like the older fans will get tickets faster, which is
Mhm.
strange because like you think like younger people would be like more savvy and like quicker. But then the second night's usually like a different mix and it's a little bit more high energy. And I think that happened that night. It was just like, I think the first night I was like, I felt a little sluggish. You know, it's like that one off back. And then the second night we played with Fucked Up. And I was like,
Yeah, in Cold World, right?
Cold World.
Yeah.
And those guys were killing it so hard that I kind of got like competitive. Like me and Walter were
Nice.
like, fuck. Like, can't just half-ass this shit. Like, and the dude from, we were watching, the guys from Fucked Up were like, no, you'll be fine. And I was like, trying to get in my head, like trying to make me like half-step this. He's like, no, it's going to be a great show. Walter was like, yeah,
Wow.
he's fucking with us. I said, all right.
Were
So we
they,
got
or
pumped.
were they just?
No, he was
giving
like,
you,
he was like being
an
like, I
attaboy?
want to be the guy with the good. I want to have the good show.
Oh,
But so it was good.
Oh.
It was a little gamesmanship. I liked it. But we had this. It was wild. There was a girl. My uncle Mike came. He's like a deadhead. He never came before, and he was there. And there was a girl up front who we learned later was a dancer because she was
yeah.
sort of naked and thongy the whole show, stage
Nice.
diving.
Yeah.
It was-
Stage diving?
Stage diving.
What?
And-
With her titties out?
Well, titties were,
A byproduct of her stage dive.
but the butt,
It wasn't
the,
like
the mini
before.
skirt, like with the thong, was out.
Wow.
But she was very comfortable with her body and her profession, and she was
Good
just
for
it was
her.
an extension.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
And everyone seemed, whoever enjoys the female form, seemed to enjoy it.
You don't say.
Yes, it was shocking.
Wow.
But then up front, it was I enjoyed the juxtaposition of the crowd because it was like old heads that look like they're from Middle Earth, you know, like
Yes.
giant beards, and
Yeah.
they can break your arm by squeezing it, and they're been suffering their whole life and they're getting it out. The wives are home and their kids are asleep. They're like, "Fuck this." And then there was this young lady with a lot of style. And then there was I'm assuming a woman, a trans woman, but young, who was going through the transition and
Mhm.
had her shirt off. So there was like giant bearded men, thong butts,
Yes.
little new boobies.
Yes.
Wow.
And it was all happening as I'm kind of kneeling down singing. And I was like, this is a wonderful world we're having. Right
Yeah,
now.
that's
Yeah.
awesome.
It's kind of a trip.
That's so cool.
And then I would turn around and we invited what we would deem our normal friends or our civilian friends we have like lake friends from our house upstate, and we had school friends, and they came
Oh, that's great.
nice.
and they were standing behind the amps just like, what the fuck is going
Hell
on?
yeah.
And my daughter was there. So that was pretty amazing too.
Oh, that's
How old is she?
fantastic.
9.
9. You give her little earplugs and she just sits on.
She gets earplugs and she rocks out. She was
Hell yeah.
dancing. She could 2-step it. She gets it.
That's awesome.
She's more of a Taylor. She's a Swiftie.
Is she a little Swiftie? Yeah. She'll
But
change.
but you know what? She went to go see Taylor Swift when
She was
came
moshing?
to New York. No, she was singing every fucking word like her life depended on it.
That's
My
so
wife was
cool.
videotaping it, and she was like, I got like teary-eyed. She was singing it like she meant that shit.
It's a
so hard.
zeitgeist. It's a whole. It's a.
I'm into it. I got a
Yeah.
shirt. I'm into it. I know every fucking word because it's all I'm allowed to listen to. But
yeah. I know a couple hardcore guys have been like, get it. Taylor Swift rules.
she does billionaire, and she puts on a fucking show and a half.
Yeah, I
Is
saw
there
her
like
dive
3
into
hours?
the
Two-
stage.
Definitely.
Like there was a hole in the stage, and she
But the
swam
stage is
dove in
water.
it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like water, and she dives headfirst into the water stage and disappears.
It's crazy.
But it's like when you have the ability to do that, it's like your
Fuck it.
imagination is the only thing that's like holding you back. So it's like just do it. I think she's fucking cool. But my but hardcore actually got that. That was little Nepo kid that I knew. I went to his mother's house back in the day, and she was a director, and my friend was a director. I can't remember why we were there, but we were having dinner in this really beautiful Manhattan apartment, and this was her kid. And he now plays guitar for Taylor Swift.
Nice.
And Toby from H2O
Yeah.
hit me up because I was like, I tried a bunch of my cool guys like Travis and Steve Aoki, and I said, you got to get me into Taylor, and they were like, good luck. I was
Really?
like, fuck, come on, you guys. And Toby was like, I don't know. It's really tough. And then he was like, yo, Max is, and I was like, what? And then
His son?
no.
Oh, I was like, what?
No. He's like, Max got you. No, this dude Max who plays guitar for Taylor
Oh, okay.
was this kid that I had dinner with like 25 years ago.
Yeah.
And he reached out and he was like, yo, I got you, friends and family list.
That's amazing.
That's
And it was
awesome.
like Christmas meets birthday meets the best day ever. And we got
Yeah.
tickets for my daughter. So
Oh,
her and my
that's
wife
cool.
went.
wow, and she flipped out probably. She was,
She couldn't, she cried a little bit. She was so
Oh.
pumped.
Oh, that's so
Because it
nice.
seemed like it wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
we were like, like I'll do anything for my kids. But I was like, hey baby, this might not happen.
Yeah.
Like daddy's trying.
Yeah.
wow,
But I ain't
that's
got that
awesome.
long reach like I used to. We'll see.
Hell yeah.
But it came through. Yeah, the other
So
night I
cool.
fucking went. We had that party, a Halloween party, at the house because it's a thing now. We have to do it. And fourth grade, everyone showed up, and I went to bed at midnight and I got up at 4 a.m. to catch a flight to Gainesville to play on Saturday.
Fest? Oh my God.
Was
It was a
that
fest?
Yeah.
And everybody's like, "Why did you?" I'm like, "Cause I got kids. I'm
the
stupid. And I
best.
say yes to everything."
Wait, Gainesville is in.
Florida.
Oh yeah.
Less than Jake, Gainesville.
That dude, Chris from
Yes.
Less Than Jake. I was him and Stefan from Descendants.
Uh-huh.
We were all on this plane from Gainesville back to Atlanta together, and he was hyping up the punk rock museum thing to me.
Oh, yeah,
about-
in Vegas.
Yes, about doing like a tour thing. So we're
Oh,
gonna
are you
go.
going to do it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like it's pure suffering.
In Vegas.
I have to. We're gonna play punk rock bowling for the first time.
Oh, yeah?
Because they've hit me up for years about it, but the offers were never where they should be. And then
Mhm.
the COVID thing happened, and they wanted,
Vegas is rough too. It's a rough place to
Yeah.
hang.
Yeah, we're playing there. We're doing a week in Vegas.
week?
a week.
A week.
February to
I'm gonna
March.
kill myself. Ian
Where
loves it
at?
because he can smoke inside, and I.
Yeah, it's the best. I can just rip butts all day.
While you're on
Oh, it just
stage.
reminds me of my
Fucking-
childhood.
Fucking jam on the penny slots.
That helps.
I
He
got a
just
couple
loses
machines
money.
figured out.
It's gonna be a nightmare. But
Woo!
maybe we'll be
Gambling's
there at the
fun.
same time. When are you going to Vegas?
Whenever this is, whenever punk rock bowling is.
Okay.
It just seems, I don't know. It seems it's not the punkest thing to me. It seems a little sterile.
yeah.
Festivals are like that these days,
Yeah, yeah.
And
Lots
there
of
was-
barricades. Only
Tied Down
barricades.
didn't feel that way.
No, Tied
At-
Down was
at
that was
all.
Thunderdome.
Tied Down,
100%.
yeah, that was like the real deal. That was
Yeah.
wild.
It was like, this is rusty metal and cement. Good
yes,
luck.
yes.
Good
That
luck.
was in Philly. We're
No,
Bein.
Tied Down was in Detroit,
Oh,
and it
okay.
looked like the inside of Shredder's lair.
What's the Philly one where
Yes.
Bein closed
This
down?
is hardcore.
Oh, how was that?
I can never go because I'm always on tour.
It's
in
always,
August.
This is Hardcore is always good.
Yeah, it's the best.
Oh, okay, okay.
Joe
does-
runs it great.
Joe's the best.
I heard that it's just crazy because it's just morning till dark. It's
You get
bands
well.
playing.
It's a rough one to headline because it's like, all right, get psyched. You've been here for 12 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How's your cardio?
yeah.
That's wild.
You know what I mean? So it's
How
like
many shows do you play in a festival?
usually just like one.
One big one.
Yeah. We're
Oh, but you've been chilling, going to shows for that long.
Oh yeah. I mean, we've played This Is Hardcore. Joe said I think this year we have the record for the most
Really?
like headlining This Is Hardcore,
Yeah.
like 4 or 5 over since like 2000 and
Yeah.
whatever.
And you go, you hang, you go to the shows, and then you perform.
It depends. Like sometimes I'll go in day of, and then I'm out the next day.
Yeah.
And then sometimes me and my wife and all of us went to Chicago for Riot Fest, and my mother-in-law watched the kids, and we went for the whole weekend because it was Foo Fighters, The Cure. We played, and Queens of the Stone Age, and
Yeah.
Postal Service. Like, it was a real crazy mix.
Oh, yeah, they just did a run. I was going to go to that. but they
Yeah.
didn't.
Oh yeah. I remember the night your special came out.
Yeah, I heard it was great.
Yeah.
Amazing. They
Yeah,
still
it was
put on a
great.
huge
It was,
show.
but it was cool. So we stayed at this nice hotel and had like an adult weekend of
Oh, that's
rock.
great.
That's
Our
awesome.
festivals are different. Our festivals are like, the hang is so fun because we're all in the same place.
Yes.
Because we're always touring on the weekends.
But the shows suck.
But the
eggs.
shows are like, some of them you do like a 7-minute set. They fly you out to like Austin or somewhere. You do a 7-minute set and you're like, I came all the way for
Dude,
this.
there's
Yeah.
like famous comedians waiting in line to go up for 7 minutes with 4 people in the audience. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah,
But the
yeah.
hangs are elite and so fun. And
Yeah,
we're
That's
all
what you're
it's the
waiting
best. It's
for.
like summer
Yeah.
camp. It's like, and then the best is we all fly back together. So we're on.
That's Ian's favorite part. None
My
of us
favorite
like
part
flying
is how
with
like
Ian.
10 of us are on the same flight.
And
And when
Ian
they walk
blows
by,
up the
we
plane with
like
his farts.
have, well, once.
Punching in the balls and,
then-
farting. And,
Oh yeah, and grabbing my friends and
Knocking
like sitting
drinks.
on my lap. You know, it's great.
Harassing the people.
it
on
She
stage.
seems
steals my
like-
pillow.
Yeah.
What?
It seems like that's where you just, steel sharpens steel. You're just on 10. You guys are just fucking being as
Oh,
quick
yeah.
as possible. I remember having, I had my friend he was, I guess he's everything. He's a comedian. He's an actor, and his best friend was a director. His name's Donald Logue. He was,
Yeah.
you know Donald? He's an actor, but he's very fucking funny. He made a lot of characters. He did Jimmy the Cab Driver for MTV.
Yes, with those glasses.
Yes.
That was the best. I remember that.
And his friend Jesse, well, they were roommates. They both went to Harvard together, and they had a loft down in Tribeca. And I became friends with them through some people, and loved them. And it was always so fun to be with them because it was just quick
Yeah.
all day.
Yeah.
And like if you couldn't keep, people would just like leave the table because they couldn't keep up.
Yeah.
And
it's
it
like
was
a
just
poker game. Yeah, it's
So,
awesome.
so good.
It's
Yeah.
great. That
Just
is
so much fun.
hones the
And-
skills.
And we I mean, when we were going around at Skankfest and we went to Dick's Last Resort,
Yeah,
remember?
yeah,
And then
yeah.
we went here, we went there. It's like the most fun. And then you're walking, you pick up friends, and you're all in a
Yeah.
pack together. Like
it's
when we were in
crazy. It
Austin,
is it's like an alternate reality, and everything. You're right. It is slinging bits constantly the entire
Yeah,
time.
constantly.
And anytime you start to drop off, and you're like, oh my god, I don't think I can sling a bit for nothing. We all just are napping, get back up, ready to
Yeah,
go at it again.
my friend Russell used to do comedy, and him and Dominic Chinese, whose dad is a famous actor, but Dominic had done some stuff. He was very quick, and Donald, and they would all we'd just be at restaurants. We'd be at Lucky Strike, and they would just be like finishing each other's jokes, and it was just all night, just funny and just quick with it.
It's the best. Yeah, when you
Yeah.
can get on like that, when you're in the flow
Yeah.
of it.
but sometimes I realize my brain is broken and I can't turn it off sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes I'm crying and I'm like, hey, my friend died. And Ian's like, well, better dead than alive. It ain't me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Skippity-doo,
yeah,
Dad.
it's
Oh, we're at 90 minutes. Okay.
yeah, that's
yeah.
the thing. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, this
No,
is
it's
great.
great. We want you to
wanna-
live here with
more
us.
stories.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
Can you
want-
move in?
Yeah.
This is
Yeah,
amazing.
I can stay. It's comfy. Does this fold out?
Yeah,
I
right.
like the color. This is my color.
Oh,
It's a great
nice.
color.
Yeah, my mom just got us those pillows too.
Nice. That's
Yeah.
nice of her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a nice gift.
Good job, Mom. And my brain is broken.
Yeah,
God damn,
yeah.
this brain.
I can't not say anything. My mom got us this pillow.
I know. That's
was born
the
on
thing
this
too. It's
day.
like the second there's space to fill, I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, here's another thing. How about the overshare? Ha ha.
Yeah.
I hurt my penis the other night. I was like, what? You ever hurt your penis? I'm like, dude,
It's
what?
really bad. It's fine with us, but it's like crazy. I can't.
yeah.
I can't control it at all. Where was I recently? Oh, I was just on a podcast with these 2 other women, and I forgot that I wasn't with Ian.
Oh,
And one of them said something. She said something about like sex, and I just threw it. I was like, "Oh, I recently had somebody blow a load in me, and I squeezed it out while I was making eye contact with them." Like, and both the women were like, "Just," and we're just like, And I was like, oh, I forgot.
They're like, we got to reboot this. What'd she just say?
It's
Yeah.
crazy. And
I
I
mean,
forget
her
all
and
the time.
I are, before you got here, we were having dueling farts on the
Dueling
couch.
farts. My friend the
It's
other day was
solid.
talking about fucking a woman with a stinky vagina, and while he was talking, he's driving a car. I reach my hand into my vagina and just go like this to him, and he was like, "What are you doing?" And I was
He's like, yep,
"I'm so
that's what it's
sorry."
supposed to be.
He's like, "How did you know? How did you do that?"
I had a friend of mine at the shop one time. He was just like, he's like, you've been in a relationship for a long time, right? And I'm like, yeah. And he's just like, you're lucky. And I'm like, why? He's like, a lot of girls I've been with lately, their pussy smell like burnt tires.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? He's, I'm telling you.
I wonder
Smells
what
like
it is.
Diet.
I agree.
Yeah.
I
diet.
think it's, but
Yep.
also there's a lot of waxing going on, a lot of lasering. It could smell like burnt tires because they just had their skin lasered. Women
It
describe
did smell like burnt, like chicken skin. It was tires. So I don't know. I'm going to go diet or I don't
Maybe
know.
Yeah.
they're not wet enough and they're using condoms.
My friend
Could
said
be.
garbage. My friend was like, pussy be smelling like garbage.
Are you hanging out with Chris Rock?
Well, he didn't say that.
Be smelling
He didn't
like
say that.
garbage.
He said trash. He said like
Ew.
trash. Yeah.
I've been fortunate. Real good pussy smells.
You're
lately.
a serial cigarette smoker, so your smell is broken. You're
very
probably
true.
burying your
Very
face in
true.
a
You
fucking.
could
Yes.
be tackling some
Yeah.
stinky, dirty
Yeah.
pussy. You
Yeah,
don't even know.
I can't tell. I just add a little salt and it tastes great.
It's all good.
Yeah.
It's all right. I mean, hey, it's pussy.
It's pussy. Pussy's
Edit
pussy.
the thing I said about salt. It was not funny.
Don't edit anything. And we're gonna end the pod
Wait,
on pussy's pussy.
You think the salt was the worst thing you said that
Yeah.
wasn't funny? Whoa!
How dare you?
Put his thing, edit that.
Let's talk about how Gail bought pillows for the couch again. Shut up, bitch. My couch.
Mommy, Gail.
I love my mommy and I love pussy. Okay.
Nothing weird with that statement. Love you, Mom.
Woo!
Nailed
This
it.
is the best, dude. I am so grateful you
No,
came
of
and hung
course.
out.
My pleasure.
Plug up whatever you want. Talk about the book, whatever
Just
you got going
yeah,
on.
no, just the book is. You know what? A friend of mine who read it and helped me edit it. He said, "It's not a book about tour; it's an adventure story." And I thought that
Ooh,
was,
cool.
you
Hell
know,
yeah.
I was like, and that is pretty goddamn good.
Yeah.
This is you as a little boy?
That's
Yeah.
me that's when I got back from tour. Roger Gassman.
Oh yeah, you're emaciated. You've been through the Holocaust. There is no
You know
food.
what?
Yeah.
My dad, when I got home, I had a bleach blonde crew cut. I was about 130 pounds, this height. And my mom cried when she saw me. And I was like, I'm fucking ripped. I'm so fucking, forget it. I'll
Yeah.
kill you. I'm wiry right now. And my dad went, Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
you look like you just got out of the Holocaust.
Yeah. I mean, your
Oh, yeah.
cheekbones are
I'm
jutting
pretty-
out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you look
I
like you're
was-
sucking on pebbles.
I underlined something you said that really hit me in your book. You said I learned to fear very little and accept the fact that me and my friends were unstoppable if we choose to do something.
Yes.
Deciding to be a person who would design his own future and destiny, not follow the pack and do what others had planned for him. If mistakes were made, they would be my own and I would accept my fate. Money and material objects would not define our
He
worth.
reads the whole book.
Actions and deeds would count more than words and empty promises. Isn't that beautiful?
I wrote that.
Yeah.
Pretty solid.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty
I
good.
mean, it's not as good as, Porcel, but, I got you back. Yeah,
Fuck,
go
that
out and
was
get this
good.
book. It's amazing.
Tribal
Biscuits,
Publishing. I'm trying to think. Like people are like, where do you get it? Tribal Publishing has it. There's
Yeah.
a link in my IG bio.
Yes.
But if you enjoy the 80s and suffering and adventure, check out the book and
Yes.
Hell
hardcore
yeah.
and the beginnings of hardcore across the country.
Yeah.
That's one thing I'll add. Youth of Today. This whole thing basically was for me. I saw the original seeds being planted, and through telephone calls and letters before the internet, kids were calling each other and saying, "These guys are fucking coming to your town. You have to fucking go. These guys are coming
Yeah.
to your state. You have to go."
Yeah.
And by the time we got to California, it was changed. It was like the first Warped Tour, same thing.
Oh,
We started like on the East Coast, and it was like, it was cool. And by the time we got to California, it was like 5,000 people where it was like 1,000 people.
That's amazing. That
Just-
must have been wild to go and see incremental, like in each
You
town.
can
and be
see
like,
it.
what the
Yeah.
fuck
Like,
is-
why are we popular?
Oh,
All of
Yeah.
a sudden.
and it's all just word of mouth.
It's like 2 weeks
spreading.
ago we were like, this sucks, and now it's like, oh my God, we're fucking killing it.
Wow.
That's so cool.
But it's the word. It's still, it's like campfire. It's word of mouth. It's stories being
Hell
passed
yeah.
and
down.
it's so wild that you have so many pictures.
I'm
and
a
like,
bit of a hoarder, and I love any kind of ephemera.
yeah, me too.
I save
so
scraps
cool
of
that
paper.
you're just
Yeah.
that you finally put it out and you
I
had
know.
it all
I
saved.
just
That rules.
sitting there, and just my friend who did the book with me, Patrick. He's a German hardcore nerd, and he moved to the States, and he started publishing books. And a mutual friend said something like, Patrick would step over his dead mother to put this book out with you.
Hell yeah.
And then 5 minutes later, I got a text. I
killed
want
her.
to put
Oh.
I killed my mother,
Yeah.
and I stepped over,
stepped over to
and now
Patrick, yeah.
we're doing it.
Yeah.
So I needed someone to spur me on with it and like trying to champion me to do it.
Oh hell yeah. That's
and
great.
and also my wife was super like, these stories are too good. You have to share this.
Yeah.
So I needed a little, because I'm busy.
And is it just straight up journals or you rewrote?
I rewrote. The
Okay.
journals were pretty.
They were informing the memory.
They were informing the memory, and they were pretty
18-year-olds.
stupid.
Yeah.
It was like,
I fucked a pussy tonight.
not even that cool. I
Oh,
wish.
okay, okay.
I wish I fucked a
I
pussy.
smelled a pussy tonight.
No.
A girl
I
put her
thought about
fingers in
pussy.
my
I jerked off
Yeah.
the pussy again
Yeah.
tonight.
Yeah.
I'm not gay. I did it. I was
I'm
thinking
not
of pussy.
gay tonight.
It worked tonight.
Yeah.
I'm not gay tonight.
Who knows about tomorrow?
Everyone else thought I was gay tonight, but I wasn't. I wasn't. But no, there was. I think I went the whole tour with maybe 2 or 3 makeouts. There was no pussy.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not a. I wasn't. I was never like a takedown strange on like one night.
I know, but sometimes women can just be, I'm going to take down your strange.
I wish.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you saw what I
Maybe
looked
because you were
like. It wasn't so
emaciated.
sexy.
Yeah, I
They're
know.
like, I'll kill that
They're
guy.
and they were
probably
like,
like-
I don't want to go to
I'll
jail.
kill that guy.
Instead
yeah,
of having
he might
sex,
not even
just
be
eat
18.
the sandwich, please.
Yeah.
They were like, just go steal another burrito.
Yeah, yeah.
But it was
Jordan,
good.
what do you got to plug?
I don't know when this is coming out, but JordanJensenComedy.com. Please buy tickets right. Just go on right now. JordanJensenComedy.com.
IanFinance.com. December 3rd, Sunday, New York City, The Cutting Room. I'm filming my first special, 2 shows, 7 and 9:30 p.m. I'm going to make a little announcement at the beginning of this episode, so it'll be another reminder. Sunday, December 3rd, Cutting Room.
I'm gonna be
first
there.
special. Yes! Yes! I'm going to stage
Heckling.
dive. No,
I'm gonna stage dive during your
Sam's
set.
gonna stage dive during my set. I can't wait. I'm coming to Louisville, Kentucky, Pittsburgh Improv, Philly, all over Sacramento, San Francisco.
Oh my God.
Seattle, Portland. Let's go. IanFinance.com, Patreon.com/BeinIanPod. We're doing movie watch-alongs. We're hanging out. Lots of fun.
World tour.
World tour.
World tour.
Yes. And you know what? My room's a mess and I can't get dressed. I got to be out
tickets.
by 8 a.m.
Vermont,
but you know what?
Rochester, Syracuse,
I'm gonna
Albany.
start today. Sorry, go. Talk.
All right, thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for having me. Bye.